Hi guys! Welcome to my channel, Aija Count. I'm launching this new series called Study with Aija, where you can join me as I study for my upcoming compre exams for my master's degree. This first part of this series will be focusing on management, accounting, and control, my personal favorite. Hindi lang to for grad school students preparing for their compre, but even for accountancy or business students, or even those preparing for the SIPALE. I'll be sharing tips and tricks para mas mapadali at hindi intimidating ang problems and business cases. So ano? Tara, aral tayo! So for this session, we'll be discussing all about CVP analysis. Ayan. So ang CVP analysis or yung CVP, it stands for Cost, Volume, Profit Analysis. Yan. So ibig sabihin, no, i-analyze natin yung relationship ng cost ng mga produkto na binibenta natin with the volume, kung gaano karami yung ating binenta at gaano karami din yung ating mga na-produce, no? And also yung ating profit or yung kita. So ito yung mga tatlong elements na i-analyze natin yung relationship to one another using the CVP analysis. So ang CVP analysis ay gumagamit siya ng income statement na variable costing income statement. So, hindi ito yung usual na nakikita natin sa mga annual reports or sa mga financial reports. Kasi kay variable costing, pinaghihiwalay natin yung mga costs natin based on their behavior. Okay? Ito yung pinaka-important to consider. Yung cost ba natin ay variable or yung cost ba natin ay fixed? Yan. So, to recall lang, no, ang isang cost ay variable kapag ito ay nagva-vary, okay, varying depending on the volume of sales. Ayan. Si fixed cost naman, fixed lang siya kahit ilan pa yung ibenta natin. So, fixed in terms of what? Fixed in terms of total cost. And this one naman, it's variable based on its total costs. Ayan. So, mas maiintindihan natin to kapag pumunta na tayo sa mga sample problems natin. So, ano yung pinakakailangan nating tandaan? Ano yung pinaka-core ng ating CVP analysis, no? So, meron lang tayong isang statement na kailangan nating pinakatandaan. Dito iikot yung buong CVP analysis natin kahit ano pa yung type ng problem na ibigay sa atin, no? So, ito ay yung ngang variable costing income statement. So, ganito lang yung simplified version nun. Meron tayong sales. So, sales, ibig sabihin ilan yung naibenta, magkano yung naibenta, minus your VC or your variable cost equals your CM or your contribution margin minus your fixed cost, and then you will get your profit. So, ganito lang siya kasimple. Pero, ang kailangan pa nating i-take into consideration, ano ba yung laman ng ating variable cost? Okay. So, yung laman ng ating variable cost, it could be your variable product cost or your variable period cost. Yan. So, kailangan din nating balikan ano nga ba yung pinagkaiba ng mga product cost at ng mga period cost. So, kapag sinabi nating variable product cost, ito yung mga variable na manufacturing costs. Okay? Pag sinabi naman nating variable period cost, ito yung mga variable na selling and admin cost. Now, kapag dating naman sa fixed cost, meron din tayong fixed product cost and fixed period costs. Yan. So, yung mga fixed product cost, normally, ito yung mga fixed na overhead. Okay? And yung mga fixed period cost naman, dito naman pumapasok yung mga fixed na selling and admin. Yan. So, sa mga magiging sample problem natin, doon natin mas ma-analyze. Kailan ba siya mag-fall under variable cost and kailan ba siya mag-fall under the fixed cost. Okay? So, ano yung mga important na kailangan pa nating tandaan dito sa ating CVP analysis? So, we're not just considering or we're not just going to look into the total amount in pesos. Meron tayong tatlong metrics na kailangan i-consider. So, for me, personally, this is how I do the analysis kasi mas napapadali din yung pag-analyze and nababawasan natin yung mga errors or yung mga confusion that may arise kapag mag-analyze tayo ng isang problem or ng isang business case. Ang i-consider natin dyan, no, sa bawat isa po na ito, ng mga elements ng ating CVP, you should have your per unit, and then you should have your pesos, and you should have your percentage of sales. Ayan, or yung ratio na tinatawag. Okay, so sa bawat isa na yan is kailangan natin i-fill in yung mga areas na to. But one thing to take note of, itong per unit po ay hanggang dito lamang sa sales, variable cost at CM. And then sa fixed cost, yung total pesos na natin. And then sa profit, pwede na tayo ulit mag-consider ng per unit and ng pesos. Depende sa kung ano yung hinihingi sa atin sa problem. Another thing to consider, ito pong ating profit dito is, take note that it is the net income before tax. So, bakit important natin na i-consider yon? Because, if gusto natin, no, or kailangan natin na i-consider naman yung taxes, hindi na lang ito magiging profit lang. So, ibabawas pa natin dyan yung tax, tsaka natin makukuha yung net income after tax. Okay? But when it comes to the CVP analysis, the assumption is that your profit is the net income before taxes. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga important formula, no, that we need to know, okay, sa ating CVP analysis? So, we'll be going through each of that. So, number 1, at ang pinakabida talaga dito sa CVP analysis natin is ang ating tinatawag na BEP. So, BEP is also known as your break-even. Break-even point. Okay? So, yung ating break-even point, it can be 2, no? Dalawang kinds yan. Isang break-even point in units and your break-even point in pesos. So, ano yung formula natin when we are calculating the break-even point? Okay? So, kapag break-even point in units, our formula is our fixed costs, okay, in pesos po lalagyan natin ng note, over your CM per unit. And then, kapag break-even point naman in pesos is your fixed costs, in pesos ulit, over your CMR. Okay, which is yung ratio. Ayan, so para hindi tayo malito, no? So, at break-even point, meron tayong mga assumption dyan. At BEP, your profit is 0. At break-even point, your sales is equal to variable cost plus your fixed cost. And also, your CM is equal to fixed cost. Okay. So, ano to mga assumptions na to? Bakit ganito yung assumption kapag sinabing nasa break-even point ka? Okay. Kasi pag sinabi nating break-even point, that is the point wherein yung kita mo at yung gastos mo ay break-even lang. Nag-equal lang sila. Okay? So, it means that it is also the point wherein dahil equal lang ang iyong benta at ang iyong total na gastos, wala kang profit. Okay? At dahil wala kang profit, ibig sabihin din, no, kung zero itong profit natin, balikan natin yung ating income statement dito. Kung zero ang iyong profit, ibig sabihin din, your contribution margin and your fixed costs are also equal, which is this third na ating assumption. Dito natin makikita kung bakit napaka-importante na alam natin itong ating income statement, no? Itong variable costing income statement natin. And kung bakit kailangan na you calculate the per unit, you calculate the peso and the percentage for each of these. Ayan. Kasi magagamit mo yun pagdating mo dito sa formula natin of the break-even point. And even in other formula natin dito sa CVP analysis natin. The second one is desired profit. Ayan. So, hindi naman pwede na sa negosyo, ang goal mo lang ay mag-break even. Siyempre, gusto natin na sa isang negosyo, tayo po ay kumita. Tama? So, for us to be able to hit a certain desired profit, meron din tayong calculations on that. So, syempre, yung ating desired profit or yung desired na kita natin, kailangan nating alamin, no, magkano yung ibebenta mo for you to reach the desired profit. No, for you to hit your desired profit, ilan ang ibebenta natin, we can calculate that by your fixed cost in pesos plus your desired profit in pesos also over your CM per unit. Now, to get your desired profit, ang kailangan mo na bang ibenta in pesos is your fixed cost in pesos plus your desired profit in pesos over your CMR. Ayan. So, medyo may pagkakahawig ba yung dalawang important formula natin? Yung 1 and yung 2? So, kung papansinin nyo, almost the same siya. Ano lang yung kinaibahan natin? Nag-add lang tayo ng desired profit in the numerator. Bakit? Kasi, no, balikan natin tong ating statement. Kapag break-even point ka lang, zero lang yung profit mo. Okay? Pero kapag meron ka ng desired profit, magkakaroon na ngayon ng value itong profit na to. Okay? So, kung i-analyze natin, no, ang formula lang talaga ay ito. Ito lang talaga ang formula for your break-even. Kasi your profit is 0. So basically, itong fixed cost plus your desired profit na 0, same lang siya nito. Number 3, we have what we call the margin of safety or yung ating MS. Ayan. So yung margin of safety natin, hindi naman siya dalawa lang. Tatlo siyang kinds. Yung margin of safety natin, you have your units again, margin of safety in units. You have your margin of safety in pesos, and you have your margin of safety in ratio or percentage. Okay. So how do we calculate the margin of safety in units? Napakasimple lang po. Kailangan lang, number 1, na-calculate mo na yung iyong break-even point. Okay? Pag na-calculate mo na yung break-even point mo, makakapag-calculate ka na ng margin of safety. Kasi ang ating margin of safety is just basically your sales in units, kung ilan ang naibenta, minus your break-even point in units. At kapag pesos naman, ang margin of safety in pesos is your sales in pesos minus your break-even point in pesos. Then, pag sinabi naman nating ratio, it's just your margin of safety, divided by your sales. So, ano ba yung margin of safety? So, kung i-analyze natin yung itong formula na to, no? Yung sales mo minus the break-even, ibig sabihin, yun yung natitira mo na margin na safe ka pa bago mag-zero ang iyong profit. Okay? Kasi kapag naubos mo na yung margin of safety mo, ibig sabihin nun, ang susunod doon ay magni-negative ka na. Magkakaroon ka na ng losses. Kasi beyond the margin of safety is already the level of your sales wherein you can start incurring losses. So magagamit din natin yung ating CVP analysis kapag gumawa tayo ng tinatawag natin na sensitivity analysis. So this is the kind of analysis that we can conduct when we are trying to gauge the effect or trying to see kung ano ba yung magiging effect ng mga changes or kung gaano ka-sensitive yung ating costs and yung profit natin when there are changes that can happen. Okay? Changes in what? Your selling price, changes in your variable cost, changes in your fixed cost, also changes in the volume of sales or production, and also your sales mix. Okay. So, ano naman yung tinatawag nating sales mix? Yan. So, yung CVP analysis natin, hindi lang natin siya magagamit kapag isa yung ating binibentang product. We can also use the CVP analysis when we are selling more than one product. So, yung sales mix is, ito yung ano ba yung mixture, okay, yung mix ng products na binibenta natin based on the demand or pwede rin na when we have bundles. Ayan. So, for example, you have product A, you have product B, and you have product C. So, kada benta mo ng isang product A, nakakabenta ka ng dalawang product B, and nakakabenta ka rin ng 4 na piraso ng product C. So, pwedeng ganito yung sales mix natin. So, ibig sabihin nito, no, hindi sila pare-pareho ng demand. Yan. So, we should also consider that kasi kapag bumaba yung sales ng isang product, it can affect other products or your sales mix can also change. So, right now, I'm showing here a sample problem. Sobrang simple lang ng problem na to. Jiminy's Furnitures sells a product for 360 per unit. The company's variable cost per unit is 60 pesos for direct material, 50 pesos for direct labor, and 34 pesos per unit for overhead. The annual fixed production overhead is 74,800 and fixed selling and administrative overhead is 50,480 pesos. So, ang questions natin is what is the contribution margin per unit, and what is the contribution margin ratio, what is break-even point in units, break-even point in pesos, and then merong ina-ask sa atin na merong binigay din na desired profit. Sige, so computein muna natin yung CM per unit, CMR, and the break-even. Okay? So, ifa-follow lang natin, no? Sobrang simple lang. If-fill in lang natin itong statement na to. So, for the sales, okay, so sabi dito, 360 daw siya per unit. So, lagay natin 360. And then, next one, yung variable cost per unit daw po is 60 for direct material, 50 for direct labor, and 34 per unit for overhead. So, itong lahat ng ito, no, dilagay ko na lang din dito sa baba. Yung ating direct material na 60 and yung ating direct labor na 50 per unit and yung ating variable overhead 34 per unit. Ayan. So, sabi dito sa problem is ito daw yung company's variable cost per unit. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung magpo-fall dito sa ating variable cost. So, i-total muna natin siya. So, the variable cost is magkano per unit. So, i-add lang po natin yung 60, 50, and the 34. So, then you will be getting 144 per unit. Ayan. So, lagay lang natin dito. 144. Ayan. So, 360 minus 144, you will now be getting 216 pesos per unit. So, this is now already your contribution margin per unit. Ayan. So, ilagay lang natin muna dito kung ano yung mga hinihingi po sa atin. Okay? Ano yung mga requirements. So, hinihingi sa atin yung CM per unit, the CMR, your break-even point in units, and your BEP in pesos. Ayan. So, ito lahat ng hinihingi sa atin. Okay? So, yan. Meron na tayong 216 dito. So, ito na agad yung ating contribution margin per unit. So, lagay na natin dito, 216 pesos. Yan. So, i-continue natin, no? Next na i-fill upan natin is the fixed costs. Okay? So, sabi dito sa problem, annual fixed production overhead is 74,800 and the fixed selling and admin overhead naman is 50,480. So, if you still remember, previously, di ba, pinakita natin na yung ating fixed cost is two kinds din siya, no? Meron tayong fixed product or fixed overhead, tsaka yung ating fixed na selling and admin. So, ipag-add lang natin. Dito na natin muna i-list down sa baba. So, you have your fixed product, So, you have your fixed overhead, which is 74,800. And we also add yung ating fixed selling and admin overhead, which is 50,480. Ayan. So, kapag tinutal natin yan, you will be getting 125,280, which is in total. So, dito na natin ilalagay yon. Okay, so that is 125,280. Ayan. Okay, so that's already your fixed cost. Okay? So, yan, na-fill upan na natin, no, yung ating table base sa mga given. Now, the question is, bakit ito, okay, bakit itong pesos, hindi natin siya malagyan? Okay, kasi dun sa ating problem, walang nakalagay kung ilan yung unit sold. So, hindi pa natin siya malalagyan. Meron tayo dyang question, no, na hihingin sa atin yung margin of safety. So, later, malalagyan natin to base sa volume. Yan. So, ano yung mga pwede na nating makompute, no? If missing pa yung ating value in pesos, we can actually already compute the percentages. So, paano ba yung percentage? We will just be computing each ng bawat isang metric na ito, no, divided by the sales lang siya. Kasi yung percentage na to is percentage of sales. So, kung percentage of sales yan, ibig sabihin, yung X or kung ano man yung metric na yun, divided by your sales. Ayan. So, pagka ganyan, matik, yung sales, dahil i-divide siya by itself, siya na yung 100%. So, next one, no, yung variable cost. O, divide lang natin, 144 divided by 360. So, makukuha natin is 40%. Next one, 216 divided by 360, we will be getting 60% naman. Ayan. So, with this, no, itong 60% na to, this is already your CMR, your contribution margin ratio. So, malalagay na natin yan dito, yung hinihingi niya. Just with this, no, ang tanong, makukuha na ba natin yung ating break-even point in units and yung ating break-even point in pesos? Okay, ang tamang sagot ay pwede na natin siyang makuha. Okay? Kasi if you remember, no, recall lang po natin, yung formula natin for the break-even point in units is simply your fixed cost in pesos divided by your CM per unit. And your formula for your break-even point in pesos is your fixed cost in pesos divided by your CMR. So, dahil nakuha mo na yung CM per unit, nakuha mo na rin yung CMR, meron ka na din ditong fixed cost in pesos, makukuha na natin yung break-even point just by simply substituting. Okay? So, compute na natin. 125,280 divided by CM per unit natin is 216. So, ilan ngayon ang kailangan nating ibenta? Okay, kailangan nating makabenta ng 580 units. Ayan. So, ito yung ating break-even point in units. Okay? So, compute natin yung break-even point in pesos. So, itong 580 units, magkano naman ang katumbas niyan? So, divide lang natin ng 60% or 0.60. So, we will be getting 208,800 pesos. Ayan. So, for double checking, dapat itong 580, pag minultiply po natin to 360, dapat ang makukuha natin ay 208,800. Okay? So, yung next question naman natin, if Jimenez Furnitures wants a pre-tax profit of 51,840, how many units must the company sell? Ayan. So, ang hinihingi sa atin dito ngayon is the desired profit. So, maglagay lang tayo dito para ma-visualize natin, no? Ayan. So, sabi is meron daw, gusto raw nating magkaroon ng desired profit na 51,840. Ito daw yung gusto mong desired profit. So, ngayon, ipag-add natin to para mapunta dito sa taas. Ayan. Pag-add natin, then we will get the desired CM, no? Total CM in pesos, tapos i-divide natin sa CMR. Ayan. So, i-plot lang natin, no? Lagay natin dito yung ating formula. Desired profit. Okay, desired profit is equal to, yan, so lagay natin lang dito yung formula. It's your fixed cost in pesos plus your desired profit divided by your, to achieve the desired profit, how many units must the company sell? So, CM per unit yung compute natin. So, that will simply just be 125,280 plus 51,840 divided by CM per unit, which is 216. Ayan. So, ang makukuha po natin dito ay ilan ang kailangang ibenta para kumita ng 51,840. So, we need to sell 820 units. Ayan. So, burahin lang natin para magkaroon tayo ng space. Ayan, you need to sell 820 units, which is ang equivalent niya in pesos, no? Okay, in sales in units. Okay, paano naman kapag sales in pesos? Ilan yon? So, napakasimple lang. Shortcut na natin. 820 units, multiply natin to 360 pesos. So, ang makukuha natin dyan is 295,200. So, kailangan nating makabenta ng 295,200 pesos para kumita tayo or magkaroon tayo ng pre-tax profit na 51,840. Okay? Sige, so ang next one naman natin is for us to compute the margin of safety. Yan. So, next na hahanapin natin, lagyan na natin dito ng box. Yan. Hindi ko binura yung break-even point kasi kailangan pa natin yan sa margin of safety. So, ang assumption natin ngayon, if nakabenta tayo ng 1,000 units, okay, lagyan natin dito, 1,000 units. So, 1,000 units yung benta natin, what is now our margin of safety in units, in pesos, and in percentage or ratio? Okay. So, dahil meron na tayong quantity kung ilan ang naibenta, kaya nating ma-fill upan itong sales in pesos, variable cost in pesos, and your CM in pesos. So, lagyan na natin. 360,000. 144 times 1,000. Okay, 144. And 216 times 1,000. Yan. So, 216,000. Ayan. So, double check lang natin. Siyempre, kapag pinag-add natin yung ating CM in pesos plus your variable cost in pesos, dapat ang makukuha niya kapag pinag-add tong dalawa is itong sales in pesos natin. Okay? So, for us to recall lang din, ano yung ating formula ng margin of safety. So, ang margin of safety natin in units is just your sales in units minus your BEP in units. Yan. And your margin of safety in pesos is your sales in pesos minus your BEP in pesos. Then, in percentage naman, yung percentage lang natin is the margin of safety divided by your sales. Okay? So, compute natin. Sales in units, ilan yung nabenta daw? 1,000. Ang break-even natin, 580. Ayan, sabay-sabay na nating i-compute. Yung sales in pesos natin, magkano? 360,000. Minus natin yung break-even na 208,800. And then in percentage. So, kailangan muna natin computein yung ating margin of safety. So, our margin of safety, 1,000 minus 580 na break-even point in units, we will get 420 units ang ating margin of safety. And then, margin of safety in pesos naman, 360,000 minus 208,800, you will get 151,200. Ayan. And pag dinivide natin yung 151,200, divide natin sa 360, ang makukuha natin is 420 units. Ayan. So, dapat ganun yung relationship ng units and pesos natin. Okay po? So, for us to calculate the percentage of the margin of safety, pili lang tayo whether units or pesos. So, in this case, para mas maiksi, gagamitin ko yung units. So, that's just 420 divided by yung sales natin, which is ang meron tayo is the actual 1,000. So, your margin of safety ratio is 420 divided by 1,000. So, that is 0.42 or 42%. So, that's now your margin of safety in units, in pesos, and in percentage or margin of safety ratio. Okay, so ganun lang kadali yung ating CVP analysis, lalo na kapag isa lang yung ating item or isa lang yung ating product. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. Yung next example naman natin, so will be just a simple calculation ng ating margin of safety. So, our problem is, yung key company has a break-even point of 2,800 units. The company currently sells 3,200 units at 65 pesos each. What is the company's margin of safety in units, in sales dollars, and as a percentage? Okay, so in this problem, ang hinihingi daw po sa atin is the margin of safety. So, hinihingan tayo ng margin of safety in units, margin of safety in pesos, and margin of safety in percentage. Okay, so napakadali lang nitong problem na to. Hindi na natin actually kailangan pang gumamit nitong ating statement, no? But we can use it just to plot yung ating sales, okay? So, yung break-even point daw po in units, nabigay na siya. So, yan, plot natin dito. The break-even point daw po in units is 2,800 units. Then, ano pa yung given natin? Currently, selling daw po 3,200 units. So, lagay natin dito, 3,200 units. At how much? 65 pesos each. So, 65 times 32, makukuha na natin yung ating sales in pesos. Okay, so our sales in pesos, 65 times 3,200 units na currently na naibenta natin. So, that is 208,000. Dahil meron na tayong break-even point in units, makukuha na natin yung break-even point in pesos. So, yung 2,800, multiply lang natin dun sa per unit na 65. So, 28 times 65. Yan, para makuha natin yung BEP in pesos. That is 182,000. Yan. So, we have 3,200 minus 2,800. Margin of safety is 400 units. Yan. So, compute din natin in pesos. 208,000 minus 182,000. We're gonna get 26,000. Yan. Actually, meron din shortcut to. Kapag binigay na sa atin yung BEP in units, tapos yung sales in units, pwede tayong mag-shortcut. Yung margin of safety in pesos will just be your margin of safety in units, ito yon times the per unit selling price. So, lagay lang natin 32 minus 28 times 65. So, makukuha rin natin dyan 26,000. Okay? So, in percentage, yan. So, kunin lang natin yung margin of safety in units for 100 divided by 32 na actual sales natin. So, we will be getting 12.5% na margin of safety. If you learned something in this video, please hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on our upcoming tutorials. In the next session, magsosolve tayo ng mas comprehensive CVP problems. See you!